Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, 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 shit, yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere, say yeah, I like that, bring that, right here, sit that, right there, don't go nowhere.
Welcome back, we back to another reaction video. This is reaction to a Patrick CC video, The Horrible Crimes of Soccer's Biggest Psychopath, Hope Solo. Never heard of her. Respectfully. So let's get into it.
Just 1 year before superstar goalkeeper Hope Solo was inducted into the National Soccer Hall of Fame, she was caught by police officers passed out drunk in the driver's seat.
Oh my God, I just lied. Bro, there's no way this is the person. This is no way this is the person. I reacted to this video of Shawty getting arrested, and I was saying that she was reckless and all this. And I also said, cause she was on some entitled, and I was like, Shorty, I don't know who you are. And I also falsely probably said that no one knows who you are, which was cap clearly. But at that point in time, I'm like, I don't give about no Olympics, Shorty. You're bugging. You need to take care of your kids. Like, what are you doing? You in the V drunk, sleeping with the kid. That means you was driving drunk with the kid in the V. But so yeah, I kind of do know who Hope Solo is indirectly. But let's get into it.
Seat of a vehicle with her 2-year-old children in the back.
People were kind of concerned saying you guys were out here sleeping and want to make sure you were okay. Okay, what's going on? Why are you sleeping out here in the parking lot?
Because I took a nap.
After refusing to comply with the officers and even threatening to falsely accuse one of inappropriately touching her, they got a warrant to draw her blood. Her blood alcohol level was 0.24, which is over 3 times the legal limit. Now, alcoholism is a serious illness, and this seems like someone who clearly needs help. But Hope Solo has had countless slip-ups throughout her career that start to form a pattern of behavior rather than isolated incidents. Whether she was violently assaulting people, making obscene comments about other athletes and nations, or being caught under the influence of illegal substances, she is somehow always seen as the victim. This has led people to calling her a narcissist, sociopath, and that if she were a man, her reputation would be dragged through the mud. Today we are going to deep dive into the chaotic world of Hope Solo, the most controversial woman in sports history. Solo's history of violence started in high school. In her senior year in 1998, Hope had a restraining order filed against her by another student. While at a fairground in Richland, Washington, Hope attacked the victim, punching her 3 times in the face. The victim spoke about the incident years later and said, "She punched me in the cheek. Then she said, 'I effing hate you, you fat ass,' and punched me 2 more times, once in the eye and once in the mouth." The student immediately contacted the police, and ultimately a judge awarded the victim a restraining order, requiring Hope to stay at least 300 feet from the student for a year. However, Solo romanticizes the incident in her book like she was the main character in an early 2000s high school movie. My first serious boyfriend was a guy I'll call Tom. He was my first love, although I wasn't ready to sleep with him. I didn't hang out with the popular girls. I was too busy playing sports to play their social games. The popular girls saw me as a threat, and dating a guy like Tom made them hate me even more. After I got back from one trip, I heard that Tom had cheated on me with a cheerleader, one of the popular girls. She goes on to detail her run-in with the girl at the county fair. "Hey," I said, stepping in front of her, "you're a effing slut. Tom's pretty good," she said. "You should give him a try." I punched her in the face. Solo then recalls herself fleeing the scene, shaking furiously angry.
Smell cap. But you could at least use the word that you said to her for real. That way it would have at least been a little bit more believable. Also, you called her a fat hind quarter whore. Like, Y'all letting cheerleaders be near my.
The fallout was huge. Her parents wanted to press charges. They wanted to know why I had punched their little darling. While we can agree this is typical high school drama that went too far, it's interesting how Hope romanticizes this in her book, which she wrote when she was 30 years old, like she was the innocent target of the popular cheerleader, when in reality she was the one who started the violent attack. And we would not be bringing up this high school incident if it didn't foreshadow her future behavior as an adult. But before I continue to dive deeper into Hope Solo's controversial career, however, it is important to understand why Hope Solo got to her position as a Hall of Famer, because she is widely regarded as the best women's goalkeeper of all time. After an amazing high school career, she accepted a collegiate scholarship to the University of Washington. During her time at Washington, she would switch to the goalkeeper position. Solo instantly realized this was the position she was born to play, racking up a school record 325 saves and 18 clean sheets during her stint at UW. She even got to represent the United States national team in college, but didn't see much playing time. In 2003, Hope made her professional debut with the Philadelphia Charge, but shortly after that moved over to Sweden to play for the Swedish club Gothenburg. While in Europe, Hope was selected as an alternate for the US Olympic team in 2004, which is still a great honor. Then during the 2005 season, Hope became the starting goalie, a role she would fill for the next 11 years. The USA women's national soccer team has been a dominant force since the 90s. Whether it's the World Cup or the Olympic Games, they are always considered to be potential finalists. During Hope's run as the starting goalkeeper, the team saw great success. In 2007, the USA placed third in the FIFA World Cup. In 2008, at the Olympic Games, they placed first, taking home the gold medal. In 2011, they played second in the World Cup, then took home another gold medal in the 2012 Olympic Games. And in 2015, they defeated Japan 5-2 and became World Cup champions. Hope Solo has 202 games as the USA goalie. Out of those 202 games, the USA only lost 11 of those games with her in the goal, and 102 of those games were shutouts. Some argue that she is the greatest American goalie of all time, yet despite her numerous accolades, her constant controversies and antics has put an irrefutable stain on her reputation.
I mean, like, how much money is you getting as a Olympian though? Like, that might be one of the problems. Then again, she was playing like professionally overseas. I'm pretty sure you get money on. Like, what are we doing?
Hope Solo quickly became known as someone who was not afraid to speak their mind, and her teammates did not like it. In the 2007 World Cup semi-final game against Brazil, she was benched by head coach Greg Ryan in favor of Brianna Scurry. She details the night he made the decision. Solo says that Greg had a gut feeling that Brianna would be the better goalkeeper for the game. Hope confidently argued for her spot. Greg didn't see.
You can't go by a gut feeling, Greg. I'm the coach, yes I can. Is it justified? Maybe not. Maybe you have some stats behind it. A player will understand more, but yes, he can. He's the coach.
Seemed to like my tone. I wasn't crying. I wasn't folding. I wasn't making it easy. Instead, I was fighting back with words and logic. So he tried to provoke me, just as he had on field all summer. I had nothing left to say, so I stood up to leave. Greg leaned over and pushed me back down on the couch. You effing leave when I say you can leave. Greg vehemently denies he ever put hands on Hope Solo. Hope even claims that she held herself back from throwing punches at her coach. But ultimately,
Cap. But I ain't gonna lie, even if she did that, bro, even if that nigga was 80 years old, bro, and look like he can't throw a punch, brother, he's not going how you think he's going, Hope. I promise you he's not. I promise you he's not. Even though your chin built like you could take one of those, bro, I promise you he's not going like you think he's going, bro.
Ultimately, she had to listen to his decision. She sat on the sideline angry and pouting during the whole game as they took a brutal 4-0 loss. After
She was right. She was right. I'm sorry, coach. You might be a dumbass. You might need to get fired. Brother, we didn't score no points. And the goal you subbed me out for let 4 goals go. You're a bum. No disrespect. It's just in context. That's bummy.
After the game, Solo ignored the reporters as she walked back to the bus until the team's press officer, Aaron Heifetz, answered a question for her, which is his job. Agitated by a man speaking for her, she approached the press and said, "Starting Scurry was the wrong decision, and I think anybody that knows anything about the game knows that. There's no doubt in my mind I would have made those saves, and the fact of the matter is, it's not 2004 anymore." Solo recalls the statement she made to the press officer, "Don't ever tell me what interviews I can do." Her comments to the press were a clear insult to her teammate, and the statement sent shockwaves throughout the soccer world. They were appalled that she would throw her teammate under the bus like that. Although Hope claims she was not speaking ill of Brianna.
You were, but also I'm speaking to my ability more so than anything. Like, I believe that if I was in a game, it wouldn't have been a 4-0. It would have been 0-0. We probably would have been penalty kicking for the win type. Like, I don't see no problem with having that confidence in yourself. You ain't have to say it's not 2000. It's not 2004 anymore. Like Shorty is too old to get active and get saves. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, if it's true, it's true. Might be a little asshole-ish, but if it's factual, I can't debate it.
And was trying to criticize the coach's decision. Because of her comments, Greg Ryan dismissed Solo from the team. She wasn't allowed on the bench for the third place game, did not participate in the medal ceremony, and flew home from China on her own. Shortly after, Solo released a public apology. "I would like to especially apologize to Greg Ryan and Brianna Scurry. There is no excuse for insulting a coach or a teammate. My focus now is solely on reconciliation with the team." However, Solo strongly suggests in her memoir that this apology was not written by her, but rather to satisfy the press, which seems to be a common theme throughout the rest of her controversies. But the public took Hope's side. After all, she was objectively the better goalkeeper. Right. Ryan made the biggest blunder in the history of women's soccer. Scurry is not as good as Solo, so why should Hope Solo have to apologize for telling the truth? A lot of people feel like Hope's punishment was unjustified. It's tough to tell if her teammates were clicking up on her because they felt insulted and jealous that the public took her side, or if Hope spun the narrative to make her seem like a victim when she was rightfully reprimanded. Either way, there was animosity. But then when they won the gold medal in the 2008 Summer Olympics 1 year later, this essentially proved to herself and the world that she could speak her mind and back it up. If people wanted to view me as a villain, I didn't care. I actually liked the edginess it brought to my game, the knowledge that they viewed me as a threat. Twitter was also a place where Solo liked to express her unfiltered thoughts about the world of soccer. After a 2010 loss to the Boston Breakers, she skipped autograph signing for the fans because she said that the Breakers fan section were shouting racial slurs and crude remarks at the players. Breakers organization denied these allegations, but at the same time, Boston has a long-standing reputation for racist fans shouting at sports events. A few weeks later, after the 1-0 loss to the Washington Freedom, she blatantly accused the refs of rigging the game so that Washington would win. It's official, the refs are straight bad. It's clear the league wanted DC in the playoffs, Solo tweeted. She was fined $2,500 by the WPS for her reckless statement. Soccer fans thought she was annoying and constantly trying to be the center of attention.
I have a bad rap, people look at me as selfish, outspoken, but I know who I am, and I know that my struggles in my life have allowed me to withhold judgment, and I'm proud of that. I think I finally understood that I'm a groundbreaking female athlete.
Withhold judgment.
And with that, there's a lot of struggle with that. But I know that I'm doing wonderful things for the sport of soccer, and I know I'm doing amazing things for female athletes. So I can take it.
You're a feisty, smart, beautiful lady who happens to be a fantastic goalkeeper. You're almost a perfect woman.
Oh, I love you.
So her 2011 cover of ESPN's Body Issue, where she posted nude, just added more fuel to the fire. Body Issue is a yearly feature where pro athletes pose nude. During her cover story, she exposed what really goes on inside the Olympic Village. Hope said after the U.S. women's soccer team won the gold in 2008, she had a night of partying with her teammates, including an all-night bender with actor Vince Vaughn. When we were done partying, we got out of our nice dresses, got back into our stadium coats, at which point she says they went on live television still drunk. She even said she snuck an unnamed celebrity back to her room in the Olympic Village, which was a major violation of the rules. Now, it might not seem crazy that successful young people like to go out and party like the rest of us, but apparently these athletes like to party like Diddy. I've seen people having right out in the open, on the grass, between buildings. People are getting down and dirty. Her accusations are backed up by the unfathomable number of condoms the Olympics passes out each time it takes place. For example, about 450,000 condoms were distributed during the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, 3 times more than for the London Games. They putting up Diddy and Drizzy numbers at the freak-offs. However, it was in 2012 when Hope's life began to spiral a little bit. Her soon-to-be husband, Jeremy Stevens, who is the former tight end of the Seattle Seahawks, was arrested for a domestic altercation against Hope. Cops say Solo and Stevens were involved in an altercation around 3:45 a.m. on Monday, after arguing about where they will live after they get married. Cops found Solo with a small amount of blood on her elbow, which apparently was enough evidence. Husband. She said online the next day, "I'm happy, I'm happily married. We never stand for domestic violence. I've never been hit in my life. It's unfortunate, and that's what the media can do." Ultimately, the charges were dropped, which makes you wonder where the misinformation came from. That does seem like a major thing to get wrong. Then again, domestic cases are extremely complicated. However, Hope would face the biggest controversy of her whole career just before the World Cup qualifier games in 2014, where one of her drunken nights turned into a brutally violent assault against her sister and 17-year-old nephew. On June 20th, 2014, Teresa, Hope Solo's half-sister, received a phone call from Hope, telling her she was upset because she had been fighting with her husband. Now, Hope and Teresa had been estranged for many years. They were not close by any means. When Teresa and her son got home around 10 p.m., they arrived to Hope parked in their driveway alone in the car. When they approached Hope's car, they noticed she was drinking out of a wine bottle. Her sister said she was swigging out of a bottle of wine that was in her cup holder. She was drunk. The family moved inside of the sister's house because Solo was not fit to drive. While inside, Hope and Teresa had some more wine and talked about her fight with Jeremy.
Why?
Hope's 17-year-old nephew told the police that he endured a lot of verbal abuse from his aunt that night, but the situation got worse around 1 a.m. when Hope and her nephew argued. The teenager, who has been acting in local theater for years, told Solo at one point that being a good actor required having an athletic mindset. Solo.
I'm not even going to judge, because maybe it could. I don't know. Like when you gotta force yourself to get into the zone or like mentally lock in, focus it. Maybe, but yeah, no.
Responded that he was too fat, unathletic, and crazy to ever be an athlete. The teenager then told Solo she needed to get her cunt face out of the house, and then walked away. Teresa also suggested Solo should leave because she insulted her son, but instead...
I don't know. I feel conflicted because, like, damn, she was talking crazy, but like at the same time, like, little buddy, you're 17. I don't think you should be talking to your aunt like that. She is crazy though. She is popping off at the mouth. She's trying you, brother.
Instead of leaving, Hope followed her nephew into the home's garage to confront him. The teenager then yelled for his mother, Teresa, prompting Solo to call him a and a mama's boy. Her nephew then replied with, "You'll never know what it's like to be a mother, because even if you did have children, they would have the most unhappy childhoods because you have no compassion." From there, he told police,
He's spitting bars, though. That's wild. Like, damn, you just gonna break a nigga down like that? Like, damn. You might get swung on God. But also, shorty, you do realize even if he's fat and unathletic, but if he throw that punch and hit you, you might go to bed. Correct?
Solo lunged at him to take a swing, hitting him lightly in the face. Then after that, she charged at him and struck him multiple times. Teresa came into the room and said that her son briefly subdued Solo and she seemed to calm down. She told her son to let his aunt up off the ground. "She's done. You can let go. She's done." But when he let Solo go, he told police she immediately grabbed his hair, pulled his head down, and started punching him in the face.
That's why you don't listen to your mom. In that instance. Like, bro, I'm in a fight. No. She's gonna get a rock first. This is so crazy. I do not condone beating on women. Why does she swing first?
repeatedly. He said, she jumped on top of me and started bashing my head into the cement.
Oh, no, you gotta
She
fight for
grabbed him
life
by
now.
the head again and she kept slamming him into the cement over
fight
and
for life.
over again. So Teresa, defending her son, tried to pull Hope off. I came from behind her and I pulled her over and, to get her off my son. And then once she got off, she started punching me in the face over and over again. At this point, the son called the police.
You need the police or an ambulance?
Both.
Police. Okay, let me get us to the police department.
Both. We done got slammed. Your head got slammed into the cement, bro.
The nephew then grabbed a wooden broomstick and hit Solo over the head with it to defend his mother. She just turned around and looked at him and started to walk towards him. Teresa.
Oh, shorty on steroids. Oh God. Like, bro, what? Nigga, she the Terminator now, bro. Shorty gotta be all of what? 5'5", 5'6", 5'7". Bro, I'm about to look up how the tall Hope Solo is. Give me a second. Hey, bro, there's no way, bro. There's no way you need all this damage for a 5'5" shorty, like, bro. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Bro, how tall you is, shorty? Down 42. You doing this at 42? Wait, it was 2014. You doing this in your mid-30s? Stupid. 5'9". 5'9". She probably never weighed more than 160. Nigga, you don't stop acting like a weakling.
Teresa said of Solo's reaction. That's all. No flinch, no nothing. Her eyes just got big and she turned. Nothing. They had suffered the wrath of a drunken Hope Solo and could not physically get her to stop assaulting them. Luckily, the police arrived to stop the violence. When the police began asking questions to piece together the story, Solo said her nephew struck her with a stick, then said he was a scary person and she was protecting herself. But when questioned why, she was unwilling to go into detail of exactly what happened. Solo was arrested, and when she arrived at the Kirkland jail, an officer in his statement wrote, she showed signs of being intoxicated. Her eyes were bloodshot, speech was slurred, lack of good coordination, and the smell of intoxicants coming from her breath were present. As Hope was exiting the vehicle, she told the officer that her necklace was worth more than what he made in a year. As another officer was fingerprinting Solo, she made numerous statements that I was not worth anything, and she should be proud to have such authority. After fingerprinting, she was booked and she was being told to walk to the search area. Solo pulled away from an officer, leading her to be taken to a holding cell. Officers took Solo to the ground to gain her compliance. It was at this point that Solo told one of the officers that if she weren't in handcuffs, I'd kick your ass. And you'll notice that her behavior towards the police officers is extremely similar to her DWI incident 8 years later. It's important to know that all of the photos and all of the details regarding this incident that you now know were not initially released to the public. So nobody knew how violent this assault was. In the days following the assault, she released an apology to the world. I love my family dearly. We, like all families, have our challenges, but my sincere hope is that we are able to resolve this situation as a family. Fans showered her with love and support. Thousands and thousands of comments proclaiming her innocence. Solo was not dropped.
Yo, fans are so stupid, bro. Y'all just assuming that she innocent because she came out with a statement. It's crazy. But that was part one of the horrible crimes of soccer's biggest psychopath, Hope Solo. Again, we haven't even gotten to her being drunk with the kids for real. He might get into that, because I think this is like 2020 or 2021 when that happened, if my memory is serving me correctly. But yeah, that was the end of part one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'll catch y'all in the next video, and stay safe, y'all.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't to live is to conquer. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See these men turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop, I'm booked to live is to conquer. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See these men turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many to roll when to make it. Still plugged into the mix, but lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different time, same location.